Hello and welcome back everyone. Today, no 2d6 dungeon. As I said in the last 2d6 dungeon video, we're gonna take a break and look at some other games and then come back to do level 2 in the future. So today I'm going to be playing Mini Rogue, which is also a solo dungeon crawler, but works a lot differently than 2d6 dungeon. Little less theme, a little more luck, I'd say, although 2d6 dungeon is very luck based, and a little more board gamey and not really a pen and paper at all, or a sort of RPG. Mini Rogue is more of a dungeon crawler board game and very lightweight. So I'll set it up and see you then. So I've set up the game so far. We're going to be playing as the rogue because I like purple and might switch to different characters in the future. But for now, let's do a run with the rogue. So I've already set up the little player board here with our starting stats. We don't start with any armor. We start with 3 food rations, quite a bit of gold, and no potions, and we start at 10 life. I've shuffled the room deck, and put down the 8 top ones in this grid. And now the last thing to do is to put down the bosses. So Orc's Remains will always be facing that as the final boss. So he's gonna go down, and then there's 4 other bosses which we only need 3 of. So those are going to get shuffled up, and I'll just put one to the side. So these will be our 3 bosses. And you might see sort of through the card sleeve there, the back of the cards. I've sleeved these up so you can't really see which one is which from the back. And also I think it reduces the glare a bit, but I'm not too sure about that. I'll have to see about it. But so with these types of games where you pick face down cards and get a choice between 2, I like to sleeve them just so they all look exactly the same, because as you play they might get damaged and you suddenly start to recognize, I don't know, a monster or a treasure from the card back because it's got like a nick or a little scratch or something. And so this way it just is all nice and uniform. I'm going to be using the token instead of the meeple for our rogue, and I'll quickly adjust the brightness a bit. I think like this could be fine. So what can the rogue do? So they have a combat ability and an exploring ability. Combat is their backstab, which just lets them double the damage from one single die, but you have to use it before rolling the dice, before making the attack, so it's kind of a bit luck based as well, because you might just roll a 1 and it won't do very much for you. And the other one, the exploration ability, is evasion. Very simply skip the next room. But I think usually I tend to use the combat ability and not the evasion, because you can always only use it once per floor if it doesn't get refreshed. So let's start and look what's under the first room here. Okay, starting off with a kind of annoying one. This is a shrine. You just roll the black die and does what it says. You can spend 1 gold beforehand to get +1 to your roll, And I'll do that because otherwise we have a 50-50 chance of already being cursed or even poisoned just from the very beginning, which would be annoying. And since we start with a bit of gold, let's do that. A5, which with the +1 is going to be the 6, and it says Ye of Little Faith, but we just gain 1 HP. Okay, not too bad. Let's continue. Flip up the 2 rooms next to us. So there's a Hermit, which is a bit of sort of trading. Can trade XP for gold or food for HP, or swap around doors, which I like to do often, but that only really makes sense if you already have something good that you want to revisit on the floor or area. So I think I'll try the trap, hope for success, do a bit of gambling here, because there's quite a nice reward if we can make it. Which we can't, so that's going to be a failure. So anything with a sort of star border around it, so a 5 or a 6 is always a success, and anything else is a failure. So there's a 1 in 3 chance of a success per die. And what the dungeon die here is telling us, the little 4, is that we're going to encounter the trap number 4, which is a thick web, which lets us lose 1 armor. And because we don't have armor, instead we lose 1 HP, and we are blinded. So what that means is now we can't look under the cards that we're going to face, the rooms. So I'll just go to this one in the middle. Another trap. This is going not so great. Let's try again, same deal. 2 and a 4 again, which this time is going to be Acid Mist, which lets us lose another piece of armor or point of armor. So that's 1 HP for us again, because we don't have any armor. This is really annoying, but okay. So there's a good chance there might be combat under one of these, but I'm thinking about just skipping, using exploration to skip the room, but whatever, because we can't see what it is. But I think if we're in combat we should be fine because of our backstab. Another trap, why not? Oh baby, a triple. Let's do the same thing and roll. 2 4s, so 3 traps, 3 failures and 3 4s, which is a spiked floor, which lets us lose HP equal to the current floor, and we're still on floor 1 of the dungeon, which this little track indicates. So that's another one of our HP points gone. Let's go down. The red square always is the stairs down to the next area, which in this case will be area 2, but still on floor 1. And the little boss icon here says we can flip over the boss card so we know which boss awaits us at the end of area 2. Or at the end of the first floor, that is. So I'll reset the floor. I'll do it once on camera, and in the future I'll just cut. So we just shuffle in all of the just encountered rooms, and the ones we didn't go to with the rest of the room cards, and lay out the grid again. And that's the whole loop of the game, and we land sort of or arrive in the first room here, so we have to encounter that. So I can already flip that over, which is another trap, why not? Can we do anything? Not really. So when you go down a floor, you also have to use up one of your food rations, and you would refresh your character ability. If we had used it, we'd flip the card and then refresh it once we go down, but we didn't, so let's just encounter the trap and see if our fourth attempt might be a success. And it is. So in this case, we've successfully dodged the trap, which is a 5, a bat swarm, and on a success we gain 2 XP. I'm sort of struggling with the focus here because it's not auto focused. So 2 XP, and on we go. It's really annoying to get blinded at the very beginning of the run, because a remedy for that is not super easy to come across, so also we can't see if we have the option to come across one, so we'll just blindly stumble our way into another trap. Let's go, another success, why not? Nope, that's a fail with a 3. So that's the spiked floor again, losing 1 HP because we're still on floor 1. So this little stairs icon means we lose HP equal to the floor we're on. And the floor is not the same as the area, because otherwise you'd be losing like 8 or 10 HP at the end of the game there, which would be a bit unfair. So the floor actually means the 4 floors here, so still floor 1. Let's go back to the middle. A damp cave, which is just a little event which can be positive or negative, and we have to roll, and if we succeed we can adjust the black die by plus or minus 1, but if we don't, we just are stuck with whatever we roll. So a 4, but a success, which would make us lose 1 food, but because it's a success we can either shift it to a 3 or 5, which is either plus 1 food or plus 2 XP. Because it's early, I'd like to go for the XP, but I have a feeling we're just gonna lose them against the boss, because this is one of the really annoying bosses that drains your XP. I usually always go for the XP there, but I think maybe the food might do us better here. Yeah, I'll go for the XP. I just reasoned why it might not be a good choice and did it anyway. We'll see. And our first fight, of course, right before the boss. So this is a mutant fly, which the artwork doesn't always match what the card says, because on different floors this will be a different monster. And it's got 4 HP because we're playing single player, and does 2 damage if it hits us, and it goes through armor, which is not important for us because we don't have any armor. So we attack and do 2 damage to it. So if I had used my backstab before that, I would have killed it, but I want to save the backstab for the boss. And the monster attacks back with a 6, which also has little rays coming off of it, little points around it. And what that means is it crits us, which means its attack goes through armor, but again it would have done that anyway, and we don't have any armor, so it's just 2 damage either way. Let's attack back. We do 3 damage, and that's always calculated first, so although the monster rolled a 2, so would have done damage to us, it won't be able to because we killed it before it had a chance. And the reward is 2 gold. At least that wasn't too bad. And now we kind of have to go up against the ghoul, which has 16 HP. And I think this is going to be really annoying, but it always only does 1 damage and also drains 1 of your XP. So the reason I took XP earlier anyways is once we fall to 0 XP, sorry, if this tries to drain XP from us, we have to give up HP instead. So in this game, if you have to lose 1 of your resources and you don't have it, you always lose HP instead. So because we were already pretty low, I was kind of scared that it would start doing double damage after like 2 rounds. So the XP really is only there to protect us. But let's attack it anyways. I'll use the backstab right out of the gate, so we're going to be doubling our damage die, which is quite a nice roll actually. So we're going to be doing 10 damage, at least something. And the ghoul hits us. Now what the monster die does, or the dungeon die here, is if you roll any sort of normal number, it just does the damage printed on the card. If you roll the 6, it's a crit, like we talked about earlier. And if you roll the 1, it's a miss, and it doesn't do any damage to you. So the number really isn't important. So if it had rolled a 2 or a 4 or a 5 there, would have done the same. So it does 1 damage to us and drains 1 of our XP. Next round of combat. Ooh, and we're critting like a pro here. So this does 6 damage. When you roll a 6, which is a crit in combat, you have the option to re-roll that die and add the 2 results together. So we'd be able to roll this again, and if we say roll a 3, we'd be doing 9 damage. But if you then roll the miss on the reroll, the X, all the damage is lost. So then we have a chance to miss anyways. And because he's only got 6 HP left, it would be really stupid to reroll this. But in the future it might become important. So we killed him in 2 rounds there and only got hit once, which is quite nice. I've been really frustrated by this guy before. Just him hitting me over and over again, and then you start into level 2 or floor 2 with no XP at all. But he's gonna drop 3 XP, which brings us up to 6, which is level 2. So we gain another die. It's the same as the first one we have. And we get to roll on the rewards card, which first of all is 2 gold flat. And then we roll just normal roll of the die, which is a 5, which is either a holy potion or another 2 gold. I think I'm gonna take the holy potion. What that allows us to do is cleanse, poison or curse or blindness, I think. Actually all of them. As far as I know, if you use 1 holy potion, you cure all of your afflictions. So we will be able to see again if we use that on the next floor, but I'll wait the first room of the next floor. So ghoul has been disposed of, and now I'm gonna start cutting and speeding this up, because I think you've probably now understood the basic loop of the game, and so I'll just do all the setup and the sort of tedious parts off camera. I've shuffled and set up the next area, gone down to floor 2, spent a food and refreshed our character, and will now, still blindly, walk into the first room, which is an empty shelter, which first of all lets us heal up to 10 HP, and up to in this case means we go up to 10. So if we'd had more, this wouldn't have done much for us. And now we gotta encounter the room itself, again we roll our dice, but now we have 2 character dice, so there's a greater chance of success. And we just do what the number says, but if we roll a success we can adjust by ±1. So very similar to the dank cave or damp cave. So that's a success with a 4, which is a cleric's shelter, which would give us a healing potion or a holy potion. But we could shift it to a rogue's trap or a mage's trap, which we don't want because those are negative. So what I'll be doing is taking the healing potion. And also I think I'll be using the holy potion we got earlier, just to be able to see again. So we might not run into so many traps as we did in the first 2 areas. So either an armory or the crow. I really don't like the crow. I assume it's kind of good, but I've never really used it efficiently. But I do like the armory. So what this is, we go here, we roll. If we roll a success, we can take a weapon from the armory. And what weapon is determined by the black die, so the dungeon die. So a 5 with double 6s. The light really makes it hard to see. But that doesn't really do more for us than just 1 6 or 1 5. So we get to take the card, and it's the middle weapon, which is a fair longsword. And the kind of weapon just determines how many feats it gives us, how many free feats. And what those are is rerolls, which you can use in combat. So you roll your dice, and if you don't like it, you can spend a feat to reroll one of your character dice, which is good with our backstab, because if we use the backstab and then roll a miss, it's really big waste of our backstab, and that way you can reroll it. You can always do it, but it usually costs 2 HP or 1 XP to do so. So not really something we're in a position to do right now, because spending XP would let us drop down a level and we don't have that much HP to spare. So I'm gonna take the longsword and be very content with it. Now we could go see the hunter, which basically is a store where we could buy HP or buy a potion. We have enough money to buy a potion. But there's also no boss on this floor, so I think I'm gonna do the fight here, because otherwise I'm not gonna use my backstab, and I wanna use it every floor to get the maximum value. So this is a skeleton soldier, which has 9 HP. And he does 4 damage if he hits us, so we'd prefer him not to. Prefer to kill him right away. Let's see if we can roll a 9. So we've rolled a 7. And I was gonna use my backstab now. It's kind of annoying to go back on that. That's annoying, I even talked about using it. But I'm gonna stick with what I said, so we're just doing 7. Taking him down to 2, and he's gonna hit us for 4. Yeah, that's really annoying. So I think we're going to be able to do 2 damage without using our backstab, so I'm not gonna use it now either. Yep, that's 10 damage. We would have needed that on the first roll. But so just as a little demonstration, now we could re-roll that 6 into another 4, so now we'd be doing 14 damage. But the 4 is enough to kill the guy already. So what do we get? 2 XP. And that was the whole fight. And now we have to go down, because we can always only go to the adjacent rooms. So going to the hunter would have given us more of a choice at the end there. We're back in the damp cave, or maybe another one. Let's see if we can't get some more XP. Ooh, no successes there. So it's a 4 and we have to deal with it. And the 4 is the beige cap, which lets us lose food. Oh, that's bad timing. Right before we head down to the next floor, lost our last piece of food. By eating a mushroom, I suppose. Yeah, that stings. So we now have to go down here, have to spend a ration, which we can't. So instead we lose 3 HP and head down to the next area. I'll reset the board and see if we can make it any further because we're almost dead. Down in area number 4, again this is one with the boss at the end, so we're going to be facing the Spider Queen, which poisons us if it hits us. And our first room is the crow. So we'd have to lose 1 food to take the crow, sort of feed it and it'll follow us. But we also already have the armory and I don't have any food to spare. So I'm just gonna lose 1 coin, which I guess the crow just steals from us if we don't feed it. It's annoying. Let's see what we can find. A corridor or a trap. Now this is not one of the worst traps because it can even just do nothing on a failure. But the corridor can as well, and the corridor could give us food. So I think we have to do that. But the corridor could also have us fall down, and what this little icon here means, which is really hard to see, I'm noticing, is we fall down to the next floor and lose 2 HP. So we'd be falling from area 4 to area 6 here on the map, which usually that means you lose. I think I've had very few runs where I've fallen down and survived it because it just means you're way under leveled. And yeah, it's really annoying and I don't really like that effect. If I could change one thing in the game, I think I'd take out that. There is a map which removes that, the tower, where you're going upwards, so you can't really fall to a harder floor. So I usually like playing on that because of that. But today we're playing in the dungeon, so now I've really talked a lot around this trap, but I think I'm gonna do it anyways because I need the food. So again, if we get a success, we can adjust the black die. So that's a 6. Oh, that is so annoying. So we've rolled a success, but the 6 means we fight. We are ambushed by a ghost. Now we could adjust the 6 down to a 5, but that would be falling down, what I talked about earlier. And I think that's gonna kill us for sure. It's gonna cost us 2 HP anyway, so we'd be down in area 6 at 1 HP. So I think we have to fight. So we're going to be fighting the ghost. So whenever one of these events that doesn't show a monster shows this little red dot, this little seal, it usually means you're ambushed by a ghost. And on floor 2, the ghost has 12 HP and does 2 damage, and also if it does any damage, which it will because we have no armor, it also drains XP. That sounds really bad, but let's see if we can't kill it. I'm almost considering just using the backstab on the ghost because I don't want to. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. We might have a chance to refresh it or find something useful for the boss before, so we're gonna use it now just to survive. So backstab the ghost, however that works. And the ghost is critting, which doesn't concern us because we don't have armor. So we've got 2 3s, and using our backstab, this will be 9 damage because one of the dice will be doing 6, which isn't enough. So I'm gonna use one of our feats from the armory to reroll this die into a miss. Super bad. Let's use a feat to reroll the other die. And the 3 stayed a 3. I don't know if you can use multiple feats on the same die. I don't think so. So we are stuck with that. So we are now even worse off. But I was trying to see if I couldn't kill him in 1 round. So he's gonna do his 2 damage to us and drain 1 of our XP. So we're now at 1 HP. Let's hope we can do 6 to him. No, total misses all around. So this means we die. There's 1 more chance, which is using 1 XP, I'm sorry, we don't have any HP to spare, to re-roll this die and hope for a 6. And I can't believe that worked, but we rolled a 6, so using all we sort of had left, we managed to do 6 damage before it hits us, which will actually give us 2 XP back. So we've at least not lost any XP. It's a net 0, but we've lost life. So yeah, I still think that was better than falling downwards, because then we'd be at 1 HP now, but on a much harder floor. Maybe we can come back from this. I really doubt it. This isn't going too well. Ooh, empty shelter. That's what we need right now. And a merchant. So the empty shelter will just give us HP for free, just healing us up, bringing us back up to 10. But the merchant is also good because we have 7 gold and we could buy armor or even a frost potion or any potion, but I'm looking at the frost potion or a holy potion because I'm still thinking about the boss fight here. So the frost potion lets you stun your enemy for 1 round, so we could skip their first attack using that and not get poisoned right off the gate. And the holy potion would obviously let us heal the poison, but I think frost would be better. I'm gonna have to do the empty shelter because otherwise we'll just die because we run out of life. Let's see if we can get maybe at least a healing or a holy potion here. Oh yeah, right, we still have that healing potion. Or maybe it wasn't as close as I thought earlier. Could have healed the whole time. That's annoying. Well, anyways, that's a success with a 3, which is the mage's trap, but we can turn this into either a 2 or a 4. Oh, messing up the whole board here. And what those do, I'm gonna try to focus or get the camera to focus. That's a bit hard. So what the fighter's shelter, the 2 does, is give us a fire or a poison potion or 2 XP, and the cleric's shelter gives us a holy or a healing potion. So I think what I'm gonna do is just shift it up to a 4 to the cleric's shelter and use our healing potion to make space for the new healing potion. And healing potions heal 6 HP. So we've gone up from 1 to 16 in a single room, which shows you how swingy this game can be. And yeah, that has just given me renewed confidence for the boss fight. But we still have a room to go before that. Let's see what we'll find. A hermit. So we could either help for 1 XP, share a meal for 1 food, or swap 2 rooms in the area. I don't want to lose any more XP and don't really need the gold. I don't have any meal to share. We still haven't found food. So I'm just gonna sort of do the swapping without actually doing anything and just accept that this was a sort of dead card. The one good thing about this is every time you encounter these bonfire sort of cards, which is I think either the bonfire or the hermit, this little coat of arms in the top here means you get to refresh your character's ability. So we've actually managed to refresh and heal before the boss fight, coming back from 1 HP. I'm very surprised, but let's fight the Spider Queen. 16 on floor 2, 16 HP. Now we don't have a frost potion and we don't have a healing, a holy potion, so we're going to get poisoned, most likely. But I'm going to use the backstab right out of the gate. Our armory can go away because we've used both feats. Let's see, maybe we can do 16 damage in one round. Okay, so some good, some bad. They will hit us. We've missed with one of our dice, but we've critted with the other one. So I'll reroll the crit first and see what it turns into. So we're at 6, 8. Okay, if that would have turned into more damage than just 8, I might have considered re-rolling this to get to 16, but I think it's unlikely we're going to do 8 damage with the other die, because that would require us to crit again. So I'll just take the 8 damage and take 4 damage straight to the face and get poisoned. And what poison does is you have to roll these poison dice, or one of them, and there's basically a 50-50 chance of rolling the little poison icon, which lets you lose 1 HP. So every time we roll our dice now we have a chance of taking damage. But at least we might now be able to finish off the Spider Queen in round 2. Okay, so first of all we take damage because of the poison. Secondly, they miss, so we don't have to worry about that. And we've only done 6 damage, which usually I would look at doing rerolls or feats. But because they miss, we don't really care and we can just go again. And the other only negative is we have to roll the poison die again, but we get lucky. So we do 4 damage before they can hit us and kill the Spider Queen, gaining 3 XP. And we can roll on the rewards again. This is always the same card. So flat 2 gold. And this is why I was saying I don't really need the 3 gold earlier, because we're already almost at max gold and I knew we were going to get some more. And then just roll for rewards. A 3, which is a poison potion, which does 4 damage per round of combat to an opponent. It's very strong. Or 2 XP. Now, I think I have to sort of hardline the XP here, because we can really use the extra dice. 1 extra dice is so strong because it's, 1 extra damage die in combat, but also a lot higher chance of actually succeeding in the skill checks in the rooms. So that will probably give us a lot more value in the future, I would assume. But for now, let's go down, refresh, go down, lose 3 HP because we're still starving through all of this. And Spider Queen is gone. Down to floor 3, let's see what we can find. Ah, there's the merchant again. Perfect. We were almost on maximum gold. So first of all, I think I'm gonna definitely spend 2 gold to get a cleanse, which lets us cleanse the poison or any other negative effects we have. just so we don't keep taking damage and slowly dying through this floor. And then there's HP for sale, there's armor for sale, or we could buy that frost potion I was talking about. Armor just reduces the damage you take, but as we've seen, there's also quite a few enemies that just ignore your armor. There's also one more boss that does a lot of damage and just ignores armor completely. And that's really annoying if you fight it late in the game, because all your armor that you worked for doesn't do anything. And since we haven't seen him yet, now he might be out of the game, might be the one card we discarded earlier, but might also be the boss here. So I think I'm gonna decide to not spec into armor, sort of, and instead buy the frost potion I was talking about, because that alone can save us from a very bad hit if we fight an enemy that does a lot of damage. I could have bought 2 more HP with the last 2 coins. I'm not gonna do that, even though I already flipped over the other rooms. I just forgot to do so. Okay, now the hermit or the trap? Good question. I really don't like the hermit. Usually I just end up doing the swap and sort of gaining nothing, except maybe refreshing the ability, which is strong in its own right, but right now we can't use that. We are in no need. But otherwise, at least it's nothing negative, so. Yeah, and the trap, we could fall down the pit and fall down a floor. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to go to the hermit and, I don't know, swap this trap down here. What we could do is swap the merchant in front of us and revisit him, but for that we'd need to find money on the way, so I'm not going to bank on that. And instead see if we can't find a nice fight. Ooh, a bonfire. This is the other card that lets you refresh your ability. And a mimic, or a treasure chest, but with teeth. Again, we're really not in need for a skill refresh, but the bonfire would be guaranteed to give us food. It's a hard choice, because I do like treasure. And actually that one piece of food, though I keep talking about it, really only is worth 3 HP, because that's how much we lose for starving. So if we can find something else that saves us more than that, more HP, I would be ready to forgo the food. Let's do it, let's play it safe. Because the treasure only has 1 in 6 chance of actually giving us HP. I'm not gonna do it. And the last card we face is a trap, which is one that will give us gold or have us lose XP. And no successes for us, and it's a 4, so we lose 1 XP. Annoying. Let's go down. That was not a very eventful floor or area. I'll be right back. Area number 6, and we are facing off against a corridor. Ooh. Let's just roll. That's a success and a 2, which would be nothing happens, but we can adjust that to a 3, which says, can I eat that? And gives us 1 food. So at least now we don't have to worry about food for this floor. A trap or a treasure? Seems like an easy choice, but the treasure is also trapped. There's a 1 in 3 chance of fighting the ghost again, which has gotten even stronger because we're now on floor 3. For the trap we have a pretty good chance of success because we have 2 dice, and it can give us a lot of food or XP. Yeah, I think that trap doesn't even look half bad looking at it, even if we fail. Worst would probably losing 1 food. Everything else doesn't seem so bad. But we succeed with a 5, which is a bat swarm, but we successfully dodge or defeat that and gain 2 XP. Slowly eking our way up to level 3. Now I do want to visit some treasure on this run at some point, but I'd rather have a not trapped treasure chest. Okay, armory or damp cave. You know, the armory has been good to us and it's great to have in a pinch, so let's see if we can't take another weapon. No such luck, so no success means no weapons for us. And another trap, really not finding a lot of combat here. That's one thing about the rogue, the backstab is really strong, but if you don't fight any monsters, you can't really profit from it. And the evasion, yes, it lets you skip rooms, but I think we're at the point where, except for some really nasty rooms, we kind of want to do all of them because we have a pretty good chance of success. Which is why I'm gonna probably do this trap, although this is another bad looking one. Yeah, why not? Okay. Though I even just talked about it, let's use the skip. I rarely do. Maybe that's the smart thing to do. And just use it to skip the trap and head down to the next floor. So lose a food, go down, look at our boss, which is the Cursed Dragon, which is not the one I was talking about earlier. So we must have removed the one that goes through armor. I think it's called like the King's Protector or King's Knight or something. But so the Cursed Dragon basically has the exact same stats as the spider we fought earlier, but instead of poisoning you, it curses you. Which also is a dice you roll, also a 50-50 chance, but when you roll the skull, you get a -1 penalty to all of your other dice. Which makes it also a lot harder to actually roll successes, because that way 5s don't count as a success anymore, because they get downgraded to a 4 if you roll the skull. And you can't even crit anymore because 6s get downgraded to 5s, so it's really annoying in combat. So, fresh new floor or area. And the first room is the trap we just skipped. There's no escape. Let's see if we can't get lucky. Okay, so that's a success with a 4, which gives us 2 food, which I'll happily take. However, we managed to do that. It says here it's a thick web, and I guess maybe there's some sort of insects caught in the web that look half edible, why not? And we can either fight or open a treasure. Let's do the treasure. And this time it's not even the mimic. So what these little icons at the top mean is you gain +1 gold, just flat. And if we fought a monster or a trap before, which we've encountered the trap, we gain +2 gold as well. So yeah, that's kind of good to get as a reward for doing bad cards. And we roll to see if we can't open the treasure chest. We need a success to get anything else, which we did. So we rolled a 4, which is a poison or a perception potion. So perception either cures blindness or lets you auto-succeed on one skill check or ability check, whatever, Doesn't really have abilities or skills, this game. Dice check, I don't know. But I think I'm gonna take the poison and drink our healing potion for it and just use that against the dragon to accelerate the fight. Let's see what we can find. Crow's back. Let's just replace a room if we want to. No, let's do the trap, because not only because I'm hating on the crow, but also then we have a choice before the boss. And we might get some money here, so we might even be able to find a merchant, I'm hoping. Or the hunter, I don't know. Okay, so we succeed on a 1, which is the worst success, because it gives the least gold, but at least we didn't fail, so 2 gold. And let's see what we find. A bonfire or a merchant. Okay, this looks super set up now, as if I'd looked at the cards beforehand, but actually now with the bonfire I'm thinking, because we're full on potions, so am I gonna buy armor after all? I mean, I know we're not gonna fight the weird king armor-piercing protector guy, so could also just buy health. Yeah, let's do it. Let's spend a bit of our money and buy our first piece of armor. Let's see how long till we lose it. And fight the cursed dragon, which on floor 3 has 20 HP and does 6 damage if it hits us, which now will only be 5 because of our armor, and curses us if it does any damage. So if you manage to dodge or sort of block the whole attack, you don't get afflicted, don't get cursed. Let's use our backstab, and we can decide if we want to use our frost or poison potion after the roll, as far as I know. Ooh, that's looking very good. So the dragon's gonna hit us if we don't do anything, but we've done 15 because one of the 5s gets doubled. Now annoyingly, if we use the poison, which does 4 damage per round of combat, we're doing 19, so that's exactly not enough. So I think it's going to have to be the frost one. But that's a good investment, because it's basically like using a healing potion, preventing 6 damage, and like a holy potion, preventing being cursed. So I'll definitely take that, do 15 damage, and the dragon is frozen for 1 round. Let's see if we can't finish him off. Ooh, and he misses, and we roll 2 5s again. So I don't know if he wasn't on top of his game today, but no match for us. We gain 4 XP, which brings us exactly up to level 3, which is about time. And we get to roll on the rewards again. So 2 gold flat, and just roll the 1 die. A 4, which is another piece of armor or a healing potion. Now the 1 piece of armor is gonna block 1 HP in most combats. And I don't even know if we're gonna fight, 1 HP per round versus 6 HP flat. I'm really torn right now. I think I'll take the armor, why not? We have to get hit 6 times to make it worth it, or equal, but that way we still have space for 1 more potion. And I'd rather have a potion and armor, why not? We might find some more on the next floor. So use the food, refresh the skill, go down to floor 4, I'll reset the cards, just a second. So I'm back, let's see what the first room holds for us. Another corridor. I have a feeling we've seen that before, the beginning of the floor. Now there's no more danger of falling down because we're already at the lowest floor, so I'm not as scared. And also we've got 3 dice with a 1/3 chance of success each. So mathematically speaking, we should be off pretty well against most checks now, because we basically have a 100% chance, at least in theory, of succeeding. So that's a success with a 3, which is, can I eat that again? So 1 more piece of food. And now we already have enough for the rest of the run if we don't lose any food. Another trap. And the empty shelter again, which now isn't as great as before because obviously we're above 10 HP already, but better than the trap, and maybe grabbing a healing potion or maybe a fire potion. I wouldn't be opposed to that, so let's see if we can't find something. Okay, big whiff, no successes. A 3, which is a mage's trap, which loses us 1 XP, which means we go down to level 2 and lose our dice. So that was really, really bad. Didn't think it could be that bad. So either the hermit or the hunter. Oh, that's so annoying. I would have rather fought the ghost, I think, than lost my 1 die there. We'll have to find some XP before the boss, but I'm confident we can. Don't really have enough money to buy anything. We could sell armor for 4 gold each and reinvest into potions. Let's not, and instead go to the hermit. Swap 2 cards in the area. Actually, what I'm gonna do is revisit the empty shelter and see if we might have better luck this time. Losing 1 XP now isn't really as bad as losing 1 before, because it doesn't have us lose a die as well. Another not a success, but, or another failure I should say, but it's a 4, which is good anyway, Cleric's Shelter, so we can get our healing potion back. Nice, nice. Oh, and I should have moved my token down here. Okay, so let's go down a floor. Lose our food, we haven't even used our ability, and I'll be right back. Okay, area 9 out of 10. No corridor this time, and a monster. Feels like it's been ages since we've had one of those. King's Guard has 15 HP and does 8 damage if it hits us and poisons us. Ooh. But that's a way to get back up to level 3. And because there's no boss on this area, we'll just use our backstab right away and see if we can't kill him. I'd even be willing to use the poison potion as well, if we have to, which I don't think we will. Ooh, and he crits. So if we don't kill him, he'll actually do the 8 damage and our armor won't do anything. 11. Let's re-roll. Oh no, I did the backstab, right? Yeah. So let's double the 6. That's 12 plus 5 is 17. So he just gets crushed immediately. So, and we don't have to take the risk of re-rolling. Get 3 XP. And we're back up to level 3. It's just a little scare there. Losing the 1 HP. XP didn't last very long. Armory or treasure? Let's do the armory, because we still have our item slot open, and that's gonna be nice for a boss fight in a pinch. Or it won't, because we've failed miserably here. So let's just continue on. The damp cave is back. And another trap. Feels like there's a lot of traps today. Let's go into the cave. Worst thing would probably be getting poisoned. Anything else doesn't really concern me. I mean, losing food would be annoying, but I think we could tank the damage. A4, yeah, that's losing 1 food. Not great, but I just really want to sort of avoid high chance of being poisoned here or losing our armor. And that's another fight. The Ancestor Spirit with 10 HP does 5 damage and drains XP if it does any damage, which it will because we only have 2 armor. That's really annoying. It doesn't even give any great reward. I mean, 3 coins is okay, I guess. Let's attack. We're just rolling so badly. I'm almost tempted to do a feat and reroll some of these X's, but I don't know if I'll even be able to get up to 10. I also don't want to take 5 damage and lose 1 XP. Wow, this is annoying. Okay, let's try it. 1 XP for a feat. It's A4. And let's lose 2 HP for another feat. The reason I'm not doing the 1 XP is because if I did and it didn't work out, I'd lose another XP from him hitting me and would be down to level 2 again. Yeah, so that's not enough. Probably a bit of a waste, but I feel like for this game you have to take a lot of risks and have to have them pay off and get lucky. If you just always play it kind of safe, I tend to just get sort of steamrolled in the end. So I think you really need to gamble for high rolls, and then if you get them, the run might be a good one. Yeah, so we take damage, only 3 because of our armor, but we lose 1 XP. We've left 1 for exactly that purpose. So let's attack again and do 2 damage. Yeah, now of course. So that if we'd rolled that on the first one, we'd have just crushed him, but wasn't supposed to be. So plus 3 gold, and let's go down. We don't have any food again, so we lose another 3 HP. This has gone very quickly with the HP. Go down. We're going to be fighting Orc's Remains, which we already knew. Refresh our character, and I'll reset the floor, and I'll see you for our final area or final floor. I am not too optimistic we're going to survive the boss fight. I usually like to go into the fight with a healing and a holy potion and full HP, because he's got 2 phases. I didn't talk about this earlier. So you fight him with 25 HP like a normal monster, and then it sort of starts a new combat with him at 20 HP. And in the first one he curses you, and in the second one he poisons you. And so poison potion against him will only kill 1 of his phases, because the second phase is like a new enemy, so the poison will wear off. And if he curses you in the first phase and you don't have a holy potion, you're just gonna be sort of stuck in the second phase rolling badly and not critting at all. So usually I like to just have a healing potion to tank the damage and a holy potion to remove the curse after the first phase, and then just tank out the poison in the end. So we'll have a bit more setup to do. Ideally, let's fight something else to get rid of the poison potion effectively, or sell it and buy a holy potion or find a holy potion. And also some more health would be nice. But as is tradition, we start off with a corridor. Don't know how often I've found that card there. No, I didn't count. But that's a double success with a 1, which means nothing happens, and we can shift it up to a 2, which would mean that nothing happens. Okay. Incredible stuff. Trap or the hunter. Oh, let's do what I was talking about earlier. Let's sell our poison potion for 2 gold. Buy for 5 gold the holy potion. And I would have liked to heal as well, but that's 3 gold. Am I willing to sell armor for health? I mean, I think I am. Because at this point, sell 1 armor for 4 gold and then spend from a 6 gold 3 and 3 again, so all of it for 8 HP. Because I think that 1 piece of armor is not gonna block 8 HP for the rest of this run. Yeah. I'm even tempted to do that again. Yeah, let's do it. I'm disrespecting the armor here. Sorry for everyone who likes using armor. I like it if you get it early and can build it up. It does a lot for you, but now in the late game I'm not too sure it's worth keeping. So 4 gold, let's use another 3 of that to gain 4 HP. But this has been perfect. So this is kind of what I was hoping for. An opportunity to heal up to full and just, yeah, resupply on the holy potions. And there's even some treasure. Let's not go through the trap. Let's minimize the risk till the boss fight. So, first of all, we gain 1 coin anyways. We haven't fought or encountered a trap yet, so no extra for us. But that's some successes with a 4, which is a poison or a perception potion. But I'm not too interested in either of those. Let's go here. That's the crow. We can just have a coin. And let's fight Orc's Remains. 25 for the first phase. Let's instantly use our backstab and see if we can beat him or not. I'm not too sure. Even though I got the sort of stuff I was hoping for, it's obviously very much luck based. And we don't have any feats. Ideally I'd like having the armory as well. So our backstab's gonna be kinda whack here. We could double the 3, which means we'd be doing 10 damage. I have no XP to spare. Usually I like having some XP to pay for feats if I don't have the armory. I don't really want to spend health because he hurts badly. So let's just take what we rolled, do 10 damage to him. Could be way worse. And take 8. Yeah, so that's a lot. So I don't know if our decision of selling the armor was right or not, but I think otherwise we'd almost be dead now, I think, so yeah. Ooh, and now this is really annoying because we rolled the skull on the curse die, so we don't even get to reroll our crit. So this will, instead of 9 damage, just be 7, because it's like a 5 and a 2. This is really slowing us down. Is it worth it to do a feat to reroll this X? I'm not sure. He's at 15. No, I don't think so. I think we will be able to kill him next round and we can still do the feat then if it's not enough. Yeah, so let's do 7 damage to him, putting him at 8. take 8 ourselves. We can't get cursed twice, which is why I'm holding off on using the Holy Potion, even though it makes the battle harder. That's a bad roll, but for him as well. So he misses. We are not cursed, so we're just doing 4 free damage, which we'll just take. And then if we can do another 4, we've actually beat the first phase. And he misses again. Okay, so that's just unnecessary at this point. We're doing, what's that, 1 + 2 + 3, so 6 because of the curse, but that's still enough. So first round dead, first phase. Now he gets back up to 20 HP and he's gonna start poisoning us. I'm going to use the Holy Potion. As far as I know, in the rules it says you can use Holy and Healing at any time. So, yeah. Doesn't say anything else, so I'm just gonna use both of them, I think. Just chug them. So we are no longer cursed and back to 10 HP. We can only take 1 hit from him, which is scary, because he does 9 damage. So we're going to have to do about 10 damage per round. With 3 dice is, I think, feasible if we roll some 6s, because we're not cursed anymore. Ooh, now he crits, but we have rolled 15 damage with a crit in there. I'm gonna reroll the crit just because it's fun. And that's a 3, so instead of 15 we're going to be doing 18, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's do that. Putting him at 2. He does 9 damage to us, putting us at 1. And now I have not thought about this, I think, well enough, because we are now getting poisoned. So there's literally a 50-50 chance of just dying on the next attack. It's not great. Maybe should have used some XP for the feats to eke out those last 2 points of damage. But so our whole run of I don't know how many minutes now comes down to a 50-50 dice throw, which is not too great. Oh, and we made it. We didn't get poisoned. And we kill him, because we do 9 damage and he doesn't hit back. Not even a doubt in my mind. I was never even close. Ignore the 1 HP. And also ignore that we almost died against the Spider Queen, or right before it. Yeah, I honestly already had sort of booked this run down, or written it down as a failure. But that was a bit of a miracle, I think. Well, anyways, we've done it. We've killed Orc's remains, retrieved Orc's blood, which is this ruby here. And I think the rulebook has some story. Also has a campaign mode that I wanted to try out sometime. Maybe I'll do it on the channel. Maybe I'll do it just for me. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to look into that. But that's Mini Rogue. And yeah, as I said, there's also some more characters, Priestess, Mage or Crusader, which the Rogue I just played I think is kinda on the medium to strong side. The Mage seems really strong. Every time I've played with him it felt super strong. The Priestess can heal a lot and feels okay. In co-op she's really strong. And the Crusader just feels super underpowered. Or I don't know how to use him properly. I don't know. We'll be able to see if we can have some fun with the Crusader or if he really is that weak when we try him out. And till then, see you in the next video.